Okay, so I'm sure the first question that people want to know is how did we meet? I have my version of how we met, and he has his version of how we met. So I'm gonna let him go first and see if his version matches up with mine.
So my version is very short and direct. So we have a mutual friend named I don't know if I should say his name, but we have a mutual friend basically, and I met her at one of his parties years before I had ever initially started contact with her. And then I also saw her on an app, and I said, you know what? I know her from in real life. I was like, she was at one of my boys' parties a few years ago. So then I said, you know what? I'm just hit her up on Instagram directly instead of hitting her up on the app. So I did that, and I hit her up, and I think I asked some BS question about how she feels about alkaline water versus tap water, and she gave a horrible answer. She said they're pretty much the same thing.
Okay, so while he's gone,
you can upload bloopers.
I'm still recording. Yeah.
This is her second son.
What is going on? Get him out the shot. Okay, so while he's gone, I'll tell my version of the story. My version of the story is that I was a young doctor. I was in residency. I was minding my own business. I had a great life. I had great friends, and I was planning to move to LA, and I was gonna make it big as a star. So dumb. So this is right before the pandemic started, and my mom recently had spoken to me about how I needed to take my life seriously and how I was 25 and how I needed to settle down, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't want to hear any of that, Mom. I'm not trying to marry anybody's raggedy son. I just want to do me and have fun. So when I got this DM from this stranger, I was like, I don't really know what to do about this. And the DM was really well written, and it was like, hey, I really have watched you for a long time. I know you're from a good family. We should talk. My intentions are serious, and I think that I would really like to get to know you. And I saw the message, and I was on the couch with my mom, and I was like, yeah, who is this guy? I didn't know who he was. I didn't remember what he had looked like. He made almost no impression on me whatsoever when I saw him at my family party. So I was like, I don't even know what this guy looks like. His Instagram page was his tax preparation page. So it was all like money and finance, but not his face. So I was like, I'm definitely not going to go out with this guy. I'm not going to tell my parents about him. I don't really know what to do. So my mom saw the messages and my reaction to the messages, and she started sobbing. And she was like, I just really want you to find your perfect match. I really just want you to be with somebody, blah, blah, blah. So I felt so guilty that I went to meet this man at his house where he lived with his sister. I didn't tell my dad before I went because I didn't think it would be anything serious. But I went to meet him just based off of my cousin who was a mutual friend and introduced me to him, and the rest was history. I still recall exactly what he looked like that first day that I saw him. We were gonna go to dinner. I still remember him walking down the hill. The light was behind his head. He looked so handsome, and I was like, oh, mashallah, this guy's so handsome. I really can't mess this up. And I remember looking at my outfit that I had completely just thrown together because I was like, there's no way I'm gonna end up liking this guy, yada, yada, yada. So we went to one of my friend's restaurants. We really hit it off there. We went to my other friend's restaurant for dessert, and then I met his family, at least like I met his sister, and then he asked me on the first day that we met, what does marriage look like to you? And I was like, oh, I don't know. It looks like something really simple, a little simple ceremony. I don't know. And then he asked me for my dad's number, and 1 week later, we were engaged. The end.
So yeah, where I left off at was I asked her about water quality, and she said they were the same. I was like, I can't marry her. She doesn't know anything. But then I was like, you know what? Let me give her a chance. So I asked her on a date. She let me take her on a date, and I really liked her. She seemed low key, like minimalistic, easy to deal with. So I got to know her a little better over the next few months because we got engaged and we decided we were gonna get married. and her father really pressed me. But you know, I'm good with parents, so it wasn't none for real. But he really pressed me about my seriousness, and I told him, I was like, look, I don't do anything half-assed. I'm very serious, and yeah, we ended up getting married. That's how we met.
And I can honestly say I didn't know him really that well at all before we decided to get married. This is how a DM from a random person turned into, inshallah, a lifelong marriage. So if you see a random person in your DMs asking you how you feel about alkaline water, maybe ladies, you should respond.
Maybe. Do you some justice.
And then for my gentlemen, I would say you miss 100% of the chances, or what is that phrase? You miss 100% of shots you don't take.
Yeah, that's right. Throw it up. 3-point, free throw,
and
reverse, do it all.
That is the story of how we met and how we got married without even really knowing each other. So far, I think it's worked out. The jury's still out.
What's your name again?
Thank you so much for tuning in. The next video, I think we're going to talk about what my dad's reaction was to us deciding out of the blue that we were going to get married. Boom, boom, boom.
Who the hell are you?
No swearing.
All right. Who the heck are you?
Oh my
You can
gosh.
put that out. It's natural.
All right, until next time, I'm Muni,
I'm Abu.
and welcome to our channel.